Welcome back to CBS Mornings. Legendary journalist Bob Woodward is the author of more than 20 books about American politics and current affairs. Now with the Trump tapes, Woodward is doing something he has never done before. He's releasing all 20 of his interviews with former President Trump. This is in an audiobook. The wide-ranging interviews conducted mostly between 2019 and 2020 cover topics like Trump's relationship with dictators and autocrats. Here's a listen.
I get along very well with Erdogan, even though you're not supposed to, because everyone says what a horrible guy. But, for me, it works out good. It's funny that the relationships I have, the tougher and meaner they are, the better I get along with them. You'll explain that to me someday, okay? But maybe it's not a bad thing.
Now, these tapes also reveal the former president's lack of urgency in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic in real time. This is what he told Bob Woodward.
Was there a moment in all of this last 2 months where you said to yourself, this is the leadership test of a lifetime?
No, I don't take responsibility for this. We're getting very good marks from the governors. We're helping the governors because, it's a local problem. You can't solve that federally.
They also provide insight into his apparent view of the presidency, like this exchange about a speech that he says he wrote.
Did somebody help you?
Yeah, I get people, they come up with ideas, but the ideas are mine, Bob. Mine.
And
Want to know something? Everything's mine.
The Trump tapes is being released by Simon & Schuster, which, like CBS, is part of Paramount Global. We're happy to say that Bob Woodward is here, joins us now live for his first TV interview about this audiobook. Bob, I spent my weekend with you, and let me tell you, there were several jaw-dropping moments listening to the tapes. But you end with this: Trump is the wrong man for the job. He is unparalleled danger, still trying to overturn election, and that he is consumed by the past, unable to let go of grievances, and lives in his own self-inflicted melodrama. And those tapes certainly tend to bear that out. But what struck me was the line, the unparalleled danger to the country. What did you mean by that exactly?
Well, he didn't understand the presidency and the obligations to people. He's isolated in himself. He has this view that everything is mine, and he will make key decisions on instinct. Now, in the presidency, president has instincts always. You need to filter them and listen to other people. But you see, he is not listening to people. And the clip you played, this idea, everything is mine. There is an intimacy in these tapes where you hear him literally saying, I'm the only one who knows. And this idea that you can be president and only listen to your instincts and make decisions, there's a lot of self in the presidency.
Bob, there's a whole lot of self. There's a whole lot of self. And you made a point in the tapes of saying that even when you knew he was not telling the truth, you would let him continue on. And then later on, you would fact check it. You would share with the readers, well, that's not true. He's not telling the truth. This is what actually happened. And now President Trump is saying that he's going to sue you for releasing these tapes. What is your response to that?
Well, he says, again, this theme, everything is his, everything is mine. And he's saying these tapes are his. And of course, he did this voluntarily. If you've listened through these, Gayle, and you see he knows he's being recorded. In fact, a number of times he says, now make sure you have your recorder on. So he wants this story out. But it's a tragedy to have somebody who is president of the United States and does not think about the people he governs. And so he has disconnected him from the responsibility of being president.
Right. Bob, you asked President Trump 600 questions, and there were questions that you pushed back on and followed up on. but you regret not pushing more on one. It was how he would handle a contested election. Here's that moment from June 2020.
Everyone keeps asking, suppose it's a close election and it's contested. What are you going to do? Everyone says Trump is going to stay in the White House if it's contested. Have you?
Well, I don't want to even comment on that.
Sure.
I don't want to comment on that at this time. Hey, Bob, I got all these people. I'll talk to you later on tonight.
Well, he tried to shoot you off the phone. What did you want to follow up with him on when it came to that response?
I should have, because that obviously we know is a big issue. He thinks he actually won in 2020, and there's no evidence, zero evidence that he did. And I fault myself mightily for not saying, well, why is that what you don't want to comment on? In 8 hours of interviews, it's the only time he said, I don't want to comment. And I should have followed that up, and I didn't, and we now know that he still thinks he won in 2020.
Bob, it's Tony here. The president of the United States is, whenever he's talking to a journalist, whenever he's being recorded, he's speaking for the present, but also for history. And I am curious, you've interviewed a lot of presidents. First, why did you want to release these tapes while the president was still alive? And also, what do you make of the president's place in history with a little bit of time for reflection that we have left?
Well, this, in a way, defines part of his history. And I released these because material was used for my second book on Trump, Rage, which came out in 2020. And I, earlier this year, listened with my wife, Elsa Walsh, and assistant Claire McMullen, and we said, my God, this is an emotional truth about what Trump is doing, and it is a level of irresponsibility. And I asked him once, what's the job of the president? And he said, to protect the people. And we find him in a tragic way, not worrying, not doing anything when he'd been warned in a very moving way from his national security advisors that the virus is coming, and it is a 3-alarm on a 3-alarm fire, and
yes.
he covered up.
Yeah, you could make that 5-alarm fire. That's one of the things that I found most troubling with the tapes. But I struggled with this a bit, Bob, and help me with this. I'm not trying to defend President Trump, and after listening to the tapes, he seems to need one. But if and he knows he's being recorded, but is there a difference between recording with you to give you, background for your book and to make sure everything is accurate, and then to release everything that he said in a book that's all about the Trump tapes? I struggled with that a little bit about whether that was the okay or fair thing to do.
Well, he knew he was being recorded. You listen, Gayle, and he would say, now you got your recorder on, make sure you have your recorder on. And so this is history, this is real, and why would I not release it? I think there's an obligation to tell the full story. There are so many books.
It is a full story.
I've done books on Trump so much, and let's put it out there. And he said, when the book came out, I said some great things. So
and that's what he kept saying. I did great things. Yeah. No, but what you said is it's raw, it's profane, it's deceptive, it's divisive. All of that is true, and it was riveting. I couldn't get enough of it. Yeah. Thank you very much, Bob Woodward. Thank you. Always good to have you here. The Trump tapes, you're welcome. The Trump tapes goes on sale tomorrow wherever you like to buy your books, and we'll be right back.